Z Business Plus makes managing fuel easy. It's fee-free with choice benefits like 8 cents off every litre, every day, everywhere you need us. Sign up today for the 2022 CanStar Blue Best Small Business Fuel Card. Z is for New Zealand. T's and C's apply.
Ioane gives it back and Mo'unga bangs it into touch. Final whistle blows and the All Blacks have the win. Boy, what a battle.
Yeah, that was the last time the All Blacks played England at Twickenham, 4 years and 9 days ago, November of 2018. England 15, New Zealand 16, although England thought they had the game won late on in that test. I'm not sure if you remember this. Courtney Lawes charged down an attempted kick by TJ Perenara, allowing Sam Underhill to grab the ball and then turn Beauden Barrett inside out and score what they thought was a try, which would have taken them ahead by 20 points to 16 late in the game with kick to come. But TMO, Marius Jonker, ruled that Courtney Lawes had been offside in the original charge down. The try was chalked off. The All Blacks won at 16-15. That probably accounts for the boos that you heard ringing out around Twickenham when that final whistle went 4 years ago. So to the present day, All Blacks coach Ian Foster has largely recalled the squad that did the job against Wales for the tour finale against England at Twickenham tomorrow morning. Many of those who were rested for the Scotland test come back in. Geordie Barrett back at 12. This will be his biggest test in that position for sure. Brother Scott Barrett switches to the blindside flank for the third time this year. He also, of course, you'll remember, started there in the 2019 World Cup semi. That allows Brodie Retallick to come into the second row and raise the bat for what will be his 100th test match. Other points of note, Mark Talea retained on the right wing in preference to Sevu Reece after a double try-scoring debut a week ago. And TJ Perenara, his late-year revival continues. He's been named on the bench. So the team to Groot, Taylor, Lomax, Retallick, Whitelock, Scott Barrett, Papali and Savia in the forwards, Smith, Mo'unga, Clark, Geordie Barrett, Rieko Ioane, Mark Talea and Beauden Barrett in the backs. Off the bench, Tokiaho, Bauer, Laulala, Frizzell, Sotutu, Perenara, Havili and Leonard Brown. All Blacks coach Ian Foster has stayed up late in London to chat to us. Thanks for doing so, Ian. Really appreciate you taking the time to join us across New Zealand on News Talk ZB. Was this a relatively straightforward side to pick?
And I guess in many positions it was, but I wouldn't say in everyone. There's plenty of robustness in some of the conversations, and there were a number of areas that we spent a bit of time working through a couple of options, and can I just say that I reckon that's a good thing, because to me we're actually now growing some depth in areas that is forcing those conversations to be had, and that's been a clear strategy for us this year, and I'm kind of delighted that it wasn't the easiest squad to pick.
Brodie Retallick's going to finally bring up that century of test matches, test match number 100 for him. Can you speak a bit about his contribution to this side in the last decade?
Special time playing 100 tests. Started in 2012 and has become, a massive part of this All Black group. Great combination with Sammy Whitelock. And they've got a little record of their own on this Saturday as well, which is pretty special together. Great leader, and he's a fierce competitor, so probably can't speak more highly of him.
Scott Barrett at 6. Can you just give us your thought process around that? Was that a reasonably straightforward decision to make?
Oh, when we've had a chance to do it and we felt it's right, we've been really pleased with how he's played. So it's a vote of confidence in his form at 6, and it's also a vote of confidence that, he's been playing so well for us that he's a hard man to leave off the park. So, the chance to get, all three of those locks out on the park and play together, if we go back to that Irish test, it's almost like we started the year at that point. I thought he was outstanding in that victory over Ireland, and through injury and a number of other things and suspensions, it probably hasn't been easy to do that again, but we really believe it's the right time to play.
And Mark Talea gets another start after his debut against Scotland last weekend. What impressed you about him on debut and has given him the nod in the 14 jersey?
Yeah, it's just a selection based on form. Really delighted with him last week. Aerial work rate. He took his opportunities with his tries, but trained well before that test, and I thought in a difficult circumstance of Murrayfield and tight test, he showed a massive degree of composure. So, he gets reward for that. And, again, this week he's shown that same sort of composure during the week. So looking forward to seeing him on another big stage.
Cody Taylor's going to start at hooker. Samarsoni Tokiaho coming off the bench. They've shared the 2 and 16 jerseys fairly evenly this year. How do you make the decision around who starts and who comes off the bench to give you that kind of 1-2 punch?
Well, the 1-2 punch has been working well with those two, regardless which way we put them around, to be fair. Like I thought Sonny was really good last week. I thought Cody was very instrumental in bringing a degree of calm and physicality when he came off the bench. And so we enjoyed that. And I'm sure this week it's just a chance to use them the other way around. We do take into account combinations, particularly in that front row, when we look at how we work that. But again, it's two guys that are working well together and a chance to play horses for courses, really.
And TJ Perenara, I guess he became a bit of an irresistible choice for you after his impact off the bench last week. Can you talk a bit about him and his resilience after what's been a challenging year for him too?
Yep. Went to Japan, came back and, missed out on the rugby championship squad and I guess this squad initially. We've made him work a little bit. It hasn't been easy, but he's shown massive character to deal with that. He's really gone and thrown himself into the NPC and really worked hard on aspects of his game. And I thought his game for the All Black 15 team, against Ireland, he looked really sharp and positive for everything he's doing. And again, against Scotland, I thought he showed that composure and that combativeness that we love about him. So again, he's been we've rewarded that Scottish performance with this one. It probably wasn't part of our plan a week ago, but it is now.
Is this a good challenge for the All Blacks to finish what has been a pretty tough year?
Well, I think since the Rugby Championship, where we finished that really strong, we've come up here with a real focus on, once we got to Europe, the Europe part of it is we got 3 big tests here and we want to maximise the opportunity of playing up here against teams we haven't played that often, particularly Scotland. In all my time up here, there's nothing ever been easy. Scotland particularly, the last 2 times we've played have almost been, duplicated the game we had last week. So you can't make any assumptions. And so really delighted with the Welsh game, delighted with the Scottish game. And we've got another one this weekend against Twickenham, which is always special, against an opponent that's, clearly has targeted this game as a big one for their autumn program. So, it's a great challenge for us. Great to be able to test ourselves on the last test of the year and finish off what we hope is going to be a pretty successful tour.
And to finish off the year, what is the most important thing for you to see from your team? I mean, obviously you want to win the game, but what is the most important thing you'd like to see from your team as you head into a massive 2023?
Well, look, I think we just want to keep. We've had 2 big tests up here, and we kind of want 3, and we want to maximise the opportunities we have against playing different styles of teams. And in some ways, it's we're playing a team we haven't played for a while. A lot of the guys haven't played them at all, and it's how we learn during a game that's critical. And I think that we have to allow top teams moments against us where they are going to pressure you. But I think the second part of this year is really about growing confidence of problem solving during games and working our way out of situations. And again, I thought Scotland was a great example of that. And I know we're going to get challenged in that same area against England. So it's a great test for us.
Without being able to read the future and taking the currently injured players into account, does this feel like the core of the side that'll be involved in the big tests at the end of next year?
Yeah, well, the plan has been to go broad. We had to go broad last year with COVID, a whole lot of reasons for that. This year we deliberately put, particularly, I guess, our more experienced players under pressure early in this year, because we really felt we needed to know whether there was, growth in that part of our game. And I think in many cases we got some really positive shifts throughout the second part of this year. So, but it has opened the door for a number of younger guys to come in and really put their hand up. And so there has been a bit of sorting out this year, but the competition's great within the squad right now. And, I think we do have a pretty clear idea about where we'd sit, but, clearly open-minded enough to actually know that next year there's quite a bit to happen. There's Super Rugby, there's a whole lot of things where you still want players peaking, and that's going to be the challenge. But certainly I think between Joe and Jason and myself, we've got a clear idea, and we're happy with the direction we're heading.
This is just the third time you've played England since 2014. Would you like to play them more often?
Yeah, I think so. It'd be nice if they came down to New Zealand a couple of times, wouldn't it? And it's, it creates a lot of excitement when we're up here, and I don't know why the fixture list has us sort of not happening. I guess there's probably a 2 or 3 test window coming up shortly in July in the next couple of years, I think. So that'll change things. But look, it's just the way that it works. I'm not sure, again, why, but in some ways it's made it even a little bit more special for us, isn't it? There's a little bit of interest from both sides, both sets of fans, because we don't play each other that often. And but I think the answer to your question, Jason, is probably yes. Be good to play them more often.
You've had to be pretty resilient as a coach and as a coaching team and as a playing group this year. How challenging has 2022 been personally for you?
Look, it's been a big year. It's been an interesting story, isn't it? Like, I think you look at last year, and we've had just about 3.5 months sort of in quarantine with a squad of up to 40 players. So that's been a massive leadership challenge as a coach. This year, we know that we weren't mentally or physically really ready from a squad perspective early in this campaign, but I believe we stayed true to our strategy of what we're trying to achieve and find out about our group, that we didn't get the results we wanted. That does create pressure, and different people react different ways. I'm pretty proud of how we as a group, I guess I led that, how we handled that. We didn't panic. We felt okay, well, we've just got to roll our sleeves up and keep growing our game. And hopefully there's enough signs there for people to see that we have made some big shifts in that space. And when you look forward, I'm pretty happy with where we're positioning ourselves for the next 12 months.
All right, and just to finish, a question unrelated to rugby. A few hours after this game finishes, the Wellington Phoenix women play their first game on New Zealand soil. Your daughter, Michaela, part of that team, as a scholarship player, of course. How proud have you been as a dad watching her chase her sporting dreams?
Yep. Yeah, no, of course I am. I mean, we're all proud of our kids when they chase something. She's always been in her mind professional career, so it is exciting. I don't know whether she's made the team list or what's going to happen, but I know she's loving her time down there and been challenged by being in an environment with some great players. So it's going to be good to see how she lifts. And I'm sure I can give her a little bit of advice, but I don't think it'll go very far with a 23-year-old daughter, will it?
Well, look, from personal experience, I doubt it. But thanks, mate, and yeah, I hope she has a wonderful season. Thanks for the chat.
Thanks, Jason.
Thanks, Ian Foster, All Blacks coach from London. There you go. So that's the last time we'll hear from Ian Foster before the final Test match of the year.